Everybody, welcome back. 2024 was a fairly rough year for German automaker Porsche, with sales being down in the global markets. We're seeing that the Volkswagen majority-owned company sold 56,887 vehicles in 2024 in China versus 79,000 in 2023. The drop weighed on the global sales total, which were down 3% at 310,718 vehicles compared with 2023. This came despite growth in its other markets, including an 11% rise in Germany. And we see this in the car market so often, right? The absolute weight that sales in China can have. Anyway, looking at the broader outlook for Porsche this year, we are seeing some unfortunate news in regards to job cuts for this company. So we have an article coming out actually, I think it was yesterday, 13th of March. Speaking about this very fact, it says Porsche plans to cut 3,900 jobs to boost profitability, right? And a lot of the car makers in general, as people stop buying cars a lot more, people essentially can't afford it or simply don't want to upgrade, they're going to have to find a way to either increase profits or at the very least cut back on costs. And obviously the way that Porsche is looking to do this, or one of the measures, is going to be to reduce its staff. I've said it numerous times, and it's not a good thing. It's quite unfortunate, but staff are very expensive for companies to maintain. And oftentimes when companies are looking to cut back on their costs, the staff are one of the first things to go. So Porsche is planning to reduce its workforce by approximately 3,900 positions in an effort to improve profitability. The German luxury car maker will reduce its workforce by around 1,900 positions by 2029, leveraging demographic changes, natural turnover, and a restrictive hiring policy. Additionally, 2,000 positions will be phased out through the expiration of fixed-term employment contracts. The company is also implementing voluntary measures such as partial retirement programs and severance agreements. The move comes as the company reported group sales revenue of 40 billion euros for 2024's financial year, ending on the 31st of December. And this is important to bear in mind because the sales revenue actually was decreasing. It decreased by 1% over the previous year's 40.5 billion euros. It doesn't sound like a lot, but bear in mind this perhaps could point to a broader trend for Porsche, a broader trend for the car market. And as a big auto manufacturer, again, basically owned by Volkswagen at this point, they are going to be aware of this. They're going to know what the general trends are looking to be, and they're going to be aware of what to do next, or they're at least going to be considering it. And this brings us on to a further point that we'll get to in a second. But yeah, this stability was largely attributed to higher proportion of customizations and improved price positioning of newly launched products. With that being said, group operating profit actually declined to 5.6 billion, down from a massive 7.3 billion in the previous year, whilst group operating return on sales dropped from 18% to 14%. These are the actual numbers to consider, right? In terms of revenue, yes, it was a decrease, that is worth noting, but the profits and the general return, that's where the money is, that's the actual money to consider. This is dropping, and it's dropping fairly substantially, fairly significantly. That is quite a big change in a year. And again, Volkswagen, Porsche are going to be aware of this. The 2024 financial year's earnings were heavily influenced by the challenging economic conditions and a comprehensive renewal of product ranges, the company said. The automotive net cash flow stood at 3.7 billion, close to 4 billion from 2023, even after accounting for 250 million pension-related cash flows. Porsche's total number of cars delivered in 2024 fell slightly, again to 310,718, compared to just over 320,000 in the previous year, and the decline was primarily due to a market challenge or a number of market challenges in China. So we know that some models are still doing well. The Cayenne was the most popular car, the best-selling model, with 100,000 plus units delivered. But the broader trend is, again, the decline in profitability. And a lot of these companies are aware of what they need to do. A lot of these companies are aware of the fact that they're going to need to save some costs. They're going to need to cut some costs somewhere, somehow, to either maintain profits or increase profits at all. And it looks like at Porsche we're seeing, these number of jobs going. It's unfortunate, but it is another story that I had to bring you guys, right? Because it is significant to the broader jobs market. Porsche cutting 3,900 employees to boost their profitability. I mean, at least they're being honest about it. At least it is an effort to boost profitability. But that is a lot of jobs gone, a lot of livelihoods which will change, and a lot of details which really should be paid attention to in today's market. That's really all I've got to say about this one, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.